Hi, Cavalier football fans. I'm Dan Ramey. Welcome to another edition of Cavalier Coach's Corner. In a moment, a visit with Coach Ron Hinton to talk about his Chillicothe Cavaliers and some special guests. More of the Coach's Corner coming up.
Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, let ATI Physical Therapy get you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
Young's Family Market is family-owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
For 20 years, Haven House of Pickaway County has supported local victims of domestic violence. Thank you to those of you who have made contributions during the Haven House Capital Campaign, which helps us to offer more extensive services to survivors of domestic violence, empowering them to become more successful individuals. To help support our effort, visit us on Facebook, havenhouse1180.com, or by calling 740-412-1905. Shelter, support, and long-term solutions. Haven House of Pickaway County. Rebuilding lives. Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Hi, Cavalier fans. I'm Dan Ramey. Welcome back to the Cavalier Coach's Corner. This is our special presentation of the show tonight because it's the end of the season, but we also have a piece of history that's being donated to Chillicothe City Schools here this evening by three brothers. They are Bill Hubbard, also Ted Hubbard, and Dan Hubbard. And you might notice this is a picture from 1908 of the Chillicothe football program, and they're making a special presentation to Coach Ron Hinton and also Jeff Arndt for this presentation of a piece of history. And Ted, tell us a little bit more about E.E. Brown, who's the one that is holding the football right there.
Well, Everett Brown was first cousin to our grandfather. He grew up in Vinton County, in western Vinton County. He attended high school in Chillicothe. He and his father, Thurman Brown, went on to live in Springfield, Ohio for a period of time. In World War I, he was a lieutenant in the Army, and he fought in France. And then in World War II, he became a brigadier general. He was stationed in the South Pacific, in Guadalcanal. He fought in Guadalcanal, the Philippines, and he actually became the commanding officer of the 25th Infantry Division of the Army in 1948. So he had a very storied career in the military. He came back from time to time to visit, and he visited his old home place in Vinton County. I always tell the story, 1963, the last time he came by, my brother Bill was just learning how to drive, and Dan and I were in the back seat. We were a little younger. And General Brown was shaking somewhat. You know, Bill was a good driver, but he was up in years. He was up in years, but you know, that's one of the memories I have. You know, when we were younger. But he was a great leader. My father fought in the South Pacific. Charles Hubbard in the World War II, and Dad had a tremendous amount of respect for Everett Brown. We were told we had to call him General Sir. Is that correct, Bill, Dan? We had to call him General Sir, and he was a great leader, and he obviously learned some of his skills here at Chillicothe High School. So it speaks well for the tradition you have here. I don't know, Bill, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I think you covered it very well, Ted. We're just very pleased to be able to present this picture. It's been the family a long time. And so we had copies made for each one of the family members. We also have a brother, Chuck, who's a pastor in Dallas, Texas. He couldn't be here tonight to be with us to make this presentation, but we're very honored to be able to share this with you and present this to Chillicothe High School. So it's our pleasure to give this picture to you.
Our brother Dan here, he's had a career coaching football. And he knows what it means to teach leadership in high school. Dan, do you have anything you want to say, or no? But anyway, so
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you,
Appreciate it, Coach.
It's our pleasure.
Yes. Well, I think we have to say that my daughter orchestrated this quite a bit here. So
she sure did.
My daughter Holly, she was jumping here with us, and she orchestrated this. And we have our captains back here. Dan, you may want to say something.
Yes, we've got the Frontier Athletic Conference Player of the Year in Brandon Muffmer right here. Also, Will Roderick is the one with the great hands. That's why he's holding the photo. And also Simon Roderick and Jason Benson as well. And thank you again for this great presentation of a piece of history. This is the 10th football team for Chillicothe High School back in 1908. We'll continue with the Cavalier Coaches Corner in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, but ATI Physical Therapy gets you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
Young's Family Market is family owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
For 20 years, Haven House of Pickaway County has supported local victims of domestic violence. Thank you to those of you who have made contributions during the Haven House Capital Campaign, which helps us to offer more extensive services to survivors of domestic violence, empowering them to become more successful individuals. To help support our effort, visit us on Facebook, havenhouse1180.com, or by calling 740-412-1905. Shelter, support, and long-term solutions. Haven House of Pickaway County. Rebuilding lives. Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, Vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today. Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Back again on the Cavalier Coach's Corner. One little note we want to follow up with that presentation with Everett Brown. He was actually stationed at Camp Sherman back during World War I. So again, thank you to the Hubbard brothers for sharing that. I'm Dan Ramey. We have Coach Ron Hinton with us, Jeff Arndt, and Cavalier Tom McClaskey with us as well. And this past Friday night, Cavalier season came to a close, a 61-27 final score at Winton Woods. And Coach, it looked like it was going to be a slugfest the way things started off. Cavaliers fell behind 7-0. They had a quick strike on their touchdown. But then Chillicothe came back and took a 14-7 lead. And you scored off of a turnover that set up a 30-yard touchdown drive. And, man, I wish we could have started every drive at their 30-yard line the other night.
Well, they're an exceptional football program. They're very good. They're in D1 and dropped down to D2. All right, they play a D1 schedule pretty much the whole year. So basically, right now in the playoffs, they're playing down. Okay, because again, you end up the year with Cincinnati Elder, all right, and then Cincinnati Moeller, two of the premier programs in Ohio, in the history of Ohio, all right, so basically when they start the D2 playoffs, they're basically playing down, all right, instead of playing up. You have to play, so their competition level goes down a little bit, but. I was proud of our kids. I thought we battled hard. They caught us. We talked to kids all week about we have to adjust to their speed. All right, and you take the Hartley and Marion Franklin. We adjusted. I thought very well. I think these guys were about a step and a half, maybe 2 steps. Would you say, Coach? Faster than those two guys.
Better, bigger, stronger.
Stronger. They weren't bigger. They weren't as big as Marion Franklin and stuff and Hartley, but they were well put together. They were well coached, and they played hard, and we just didn't have enough muster to keep scoring with them. All right, we scored early, but then they their defense made some adjustments. Their closing speed was phenomenal. We have a big play, and we had some very, very nice plays, but then their closing speed. When they come closing, that's what you run into at this level, all right. And but biggest thing is like we were talking about, we did not want to have another DeSales, 56-6. We were never in the football game. With this game, we were in the football game. I think we got their attention. I think we woke up some people. Next to Elder, we scored the most points on them the whole year, and our 27 points. So that was all positive. They wanted to take Brandon away, and they did. We didn't have Connor. Connor carried the ball on his only touchdown run, and he came out because his knee injury from the week before just wouldn't allow him to. He could play defense, but that was short burst, not sprinting. But running back, he ran to one end and he was so open. I thought, God, Connor, get there. Hurry, get there, please.
And he ran towards the defense.
Yeah.
He had this big, wide open space.
It was wide open. It was wide open.
It was as if he couldn't steer.
Yes.
But he made it across the goal line.
Yes, he did. So that was great. And again, I think our guys proved the point. Our guys went down and they competed. They competed hard. They competed against a team that's picked to win the state championship. All right, the best in Ohio. We lost on the scoreboard, but in a lot of ways we still won.
You bring up the scoreboard, Coach, and I felt bad for you because you found yourself getting the ball just, maybe 2 plays into your next possession to answer a scoring touchdown, and they shut things down for 5 minutes because the scoreboard stopped. I've never seen an officiating crew do that before. They usually just say, we're going without it and let's go. And I felt that kind of took you out of a bit of momentum there.
Well, they come over, actually even said something to us about it, and they Coach Arndt.
Yeah.
They come over and apologized, and, Coach, we won't take any momentum away from you. But they were trying, they thought they could fix it, shut the computer off, and then or shut the scoreboard down, and then restart it, and thought it might come back on. Well, it excuse me, it didn't do that. And then they said we lost 3 minutes in the first quarter, which I said, okay, the rest of that took enough time if they had the chance to score 1 or 2 more.
Well, if they wanted to make it up to you, could have given you 14 more
yeah,
points. Maybe.
Yeah, yes, so that was kind of that was a negative that happened, and but it's one, we didn't say anything. It's just one of those things that happens in a ball game, and you go on, you play, and excuse me, both teams had to had to play under the same conditions. It was a little hairy in the second half with the running clock because we didn't know how the clock was running.
Yeah.
We didn't know how much time was there. We probably would have milked the clock a little more and took away the last play if they had. But we didn't know. We didn't even know the game. So I walked down the field afterwards. I asked him, "Is the game over? Are they kicking extra? Where are we at here?"
Yeah.
I'm proud of our seniors, our 10 guys. They went out with their heads high. They lost, excuse me, but they still won on their character, on their, to go out and be that much out-talented, okay, and yet still compete, I think speaks volumes of the character of our football team, of our football program, of my coaching staff, the Chillicothe community, and also the reason why we were 8-2 this year, finished up 8-3, so now we still have one more goal we're going to attain. That was our 4th trip in 5 years to the playoffs. That's never happened before here, not that consistently. But we got one more big hurdle off our way this year by winning the league title. But now, the last thing we have to do is make it to week 12. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Again, we thought the last 2 years we had a really legit shot, especially last year, a legit shot. Doing this, this group, had a tremendous year, and just fell where we were playing one of the best teams in Ohio. It was our draw. So you take what you got and you go from there, and that there. Coach Arndt and his staff did a great job, throughout the year, and we had a coach meeting before we started the show, when one of the coaches said they was really worried about Coach Arndt because he's had this blank look on his face. And what was your comment, Coach?
I said, no answer. No answer. And it was just that we've tried everything, and it didn't work.
Well, and you could see, Jeff, too, there were times the speed difference that these kids had, it turned what we would have as the fundamental tackle of getting that shoulder down low into almost grabbing at the
reaching.
shoulder because they were a step behind.
Right. Yeah, the speed hurt us. The tailback is probably one of the best, and Coach Hinton and I have seen some very good running backs, and we've been able to defend some very good running backs in our career. But that young man is probably the best, or will be the best.
He's better than Kid from DeSales,
yes.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
And he's better than Deshaun Wynn that we faced.
Yeah, I was
in
thought
2000.
of Deshaun Wynn.
Yeah.
And he's better than that. Now he's a sophomore, and when Deshaun was a senior. So, again, and the other thing I saw when I looked at the film, if we went into one type of defense, if we shifted, and we like to shift after the cadence starts, they changed their blocking scheme. They were a gap block scheme. They went into the zone, and they even did a couple times where the tackle stepped out around our defensive tackle to go get a linebacker. And that says a lot about, one, their coaching, and two, their kids being able to understand what they were doing and making those adjustments, because we pride ourselves in doing things where we can confuse blocking schemes, and it didn't confuse them.
And you take a look at your defense, Coach, and these guys play with a great deal of heart. There's no question about that. But they were outsized by, in some instances, 75 to 80 pounds. And only Jason Benson weighs over 200 pounds on this roster that played.
Yeah, and by the way, he played a very good game.
Yeah.
And so he was a very standout defensively. But yeah, our guys have been used to that all year.
Right.
But they weren't used to the athleticism that team had with that, again, their offensive line. That offensive line was very, very...
They blocked us. I mean, they blocked us. The other thing was, I thought that we talked about on the way back, was that they also, we're not a good individual team. We're a team where we get people to the ball and rally around each other at the ball. And they made our guys tackle in space, basically one-on-one, where the two and second, third, or fourth guy couldn't, the posse just couldn't quite get there. And we were trying to play it too much in space, and that was one of the first times that's happened to us. Correct,
we've
Coach?
we've always tried to count. If the offense has 5, we want 6. If they've got five hats on five hats, there's that 6th guy who's up against the running back. Well, we had that at several issues at times, and we lost that battle with one-on-one with the running back. I mean, give him credit, but he was that kind of running back. He made us miss.
And I have to think also that with the speed combined with the stiff arm, I mean, they had a number of kids that could do the stiff arm, and that's got to throw off the reaction of the rest of the defense that is coming, that posse that Coach is talking about.
Well, we had a little technique to take care of the stiff arm, but we never got a chance to use it because that stiff arm was that strong. And so it was that way. So, again, not only did they have the speed in that running backs, but they also were very, very strong, very powerful kids. Yeah. His legs were coming, and he was taught very well how to run.
I believe Coach Cousins described it as tree trunk legs.
Yes.
And he was coming at you full force.
Their wide receivers had those same kind of legs.
But the running back is just a sophomore. So, Coach, when you take a look at this, and I know we'll talk about the season in another segment coming up here in a bit, but how do you build off of this now? You lose a good crop of seniors, but you've got a bunch of kids that played in this game that are underclassmen, and they got some experience that night.
Well, the tough thing about high school, it's not a difference, collegiate and professional. We have a group of kids that's leaving us every year. Yeah. Okay, and these guys have been very special. They really was Coach Art and I's first group. Started in biddies and came all the way through. Our 7 years here, and they've always been a very special group because of their success, the kind of characters, young men they are, and those things. So those things are hard to replace. But also it's a building block. Okay, one more door opened up for us this year. We won our title. Okay, now we got as we told them, good teams win championships, great teams repeat. All right, so now the battle cry is, we want to repeat, we want to defend our title. Okay, and we have you look back that we lost Brandon the skill, Connor skill. Which most of our wide receivers are back. All right, we have a good plethora, with Jaquan, with Zach, and Joy Wright. We lost AJ and we lost Will, but we do have some replacements. And then most of our line of scrimmage is back. Technically, really 4 of our 5 starters, until Casey got hurt, and 4 of our 5 starters are back on the offensive line. And usually things change. You win because because you're better up front, and you go back to them. Whitten Woods, their line scrimmage. We underestimated their line scrimmage a little bit. And their wide receivers blocked extremely well. So those are all positive things we're going to build on. We're going to work on this winter, and we want to relish some more of this year yet, because it's amazing though. People don't realize how much you're going 100 mile an hour. From August, and you get to week 11, and you're just going 100 mile an hour, and then boom, cold turkey. It just stops. Okay, you have a hard time just all of a sudden gearing down, slowing down, because now everything just stops. And as we explained to the kids, there's only one team that's going to leave Ohio. Only 6 teams this year is going to end up with a smile on their face. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's going to be 7 teams, and with a smile on their face. Everybody else could have a frown, and whatever. Okay, but only 7 teams are going to walk off with a smile on their face. So our kids walked off tall, they walked off proud. I got to say, Coach, we commented about this, that we were really, really pleased with the amount of people that traveled with us. Mm-hmm. I think our crowd was as big, if not larger, than their crowd was. Okay, I was really amazed at the amount of people that traveled, made that long drive and stuff. But again, I think our culture is changing. I think Chillicothe has really become excited about what these young men are doing, what our program is doing, what we represent, and how we're going about it. So those are all very, very positive things that I think are happening for us. And once again, I got to congratulate my staff. My staff is one of the best around. Okay, Coach Arndt, he had a tough year. We were barking. I said, "Daggone, just slow him down a little bit." And then I turn around and I'd tell my staff then, I say, "Guys, we've got to take Coach Arndt off the field by us controlling the football. Like courthouse, we got to take that." Kept Stewart talking to Coach over there. We took time off the clock. We took, we slowed the game down. We controlled it. We tried to do a little bit of that Friday, but they scored so quickly, so fast, that we really couldn't quite do that. But also, I was really impressed that we was able to block them, most of the game. It's just the fact that their safeties closed, their linebackers closed so fast, with the adjustments they made second half, that we just didn't quite could generate the big plays. And we had a couple of screen passes. Those could have been big plays. I don't think we would have scored. They run us down, but they'd have been nice gains. That one of those things. We just a little bit high. The next one just it's open. The guy just tips the ball. Okay, but that's football. That's the way it is.
That's why they play the game, as they say. Well, after 118 seasons of Cavalier football, or I should say Chillicothe High School football, to be technical about it, only 2 times have we reached Week 12. So perhaps next season will be the season that we make a 3rd trip. We'll continue with the Cavalier Coaches Corner and meet some of the players in just a matter of moments.
Young's Family Market is family owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
For 20 years, Haven House of Pickaway County has supported local victims of domestic violence. Thank you to those of you who have made contributions during the Haven House Capital Campaign, which helps us to offer more extensive services to survivors of domestic violence, empowering them to become more successful individuals. To help support our effort, visit us on Facebook, havenhouse1180.com, or by calling 740-412-1905. Shelter, support, and long-term solutions. Haven House of Pickaway County, rebuilding lives. Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today. Southern Ohio Monument Company believes remembering a loved one after they're gone can be as personalized as when they were here. With over 400 in-stock monuments to choose from, there are shapes and sizes to match nearly everyone's personality, helping your loved one make a lasting impression. Southern Ohio Monument Company on East Main Street in downtown Chillicothe. Open weekdays 8 to 5 and Saturdays 8 to 1. Southern Ohio Monument Company, proud sponsor of the Cavaliers.
Hi, I'm Angie with ATI Physical Therapy located in Chillicothe. If pain or injury prevent you from doing what you love, but ATI Physical Therapy gets you back. Whether it's back to work or back to your play, ATI's energetic and motivating team is ready to help you begin your road to recovery. We will craft a personalized treatment plan incorporating the appropriate techniques for your condition. Stop by our Chillicothe location for a complimentary injury screening or visit atipt.com for a location near you.
On this edition of the Cavalier Coaches Corner, time to talk with our Frontier Athletic Conference first team here. Most of them are with us here this evening, and 4 of the 5 Chillicothe football team captains. We have Simon Roderick, also Jason Benson, Will Roderick, and the Frontier Athletic Conference first ever Football Player of the Year, Brandon Moffmer. Brandon, we talked a little bit just a while ago about hearing your name called as the FAC Player of the Year. That's pretty cool stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Talk about what went through your mind, what your emotions in the whole deal.
I wasn't really too much into it. Not right now. Later on in life, I'll see it as a bigger deal. But right now, it's just there, I guess.
Now this, of course, leads to other things, certainly. You also received a college offer here as well,
Yeah.
but not for football.
Yeah.
For basketball, right? At Cedarville College, so good luck with that.
Thank
I know that when Brandon has talked often in public about this football team, we have followed his 153.5 yards per game, but you always give credit where credit is due, and you've got a bunch of guys that help you get that.
Yeah. It's just, it starts with the offensive line, always. Offensive and defensive line, both sides of the ball. But for me to make big runs, it's just the blocking. Same with my receivers. If the blocking's not there, I can't do it all. I know they expect me to do a lot, but I really can't do it all by myself. And so I just give all the credit to my teammates and my coaches.
One of those blocking downfield for him a time or two, and even had a nice catch at Miami Trace. Your high jumping capabilities, I think, helped you with that pass. Yeah. But Will Roderick, and we'll talk about what it's like to have a kid like Brandon. You've played with him all your high school career. What has it been like to see the accolades come not only his way, but all 4 of your way?
Yeah, well, I'd like to say, we all compared him to Lamar Jackson. He's such a dual threat. He can run the ball real well, and then on top of that, he can throw. And you mentioned the Miami Trace throw he had. He always makes plays. I don't know. He always has his eyes open for receivers and makes good throws, and that's just what he does.
Will had his eyes open too as that ball came to him. Right along the sideline, made a great maneuver and turned into a 65-yard gain, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And so we would have loved to seen maybe 6 more touchdowns this year. We could have used them this past week as the Cavaliers season unfortunately came to a close. But what was it like to make it to the playoffs again for a 3rd time in your high school career? Not many kids get a chance to say that.
It was just a really great thing, as a team. We all just came together and just did our thing, and I really, as the captains, we really used the culture to help make it to the playoffs and just be so successful. And I think we've really overcome through the years of just being better as a team and almost as a family. And I think that's just really what helped us make it to the playoffs.
There's been a special bonding amongst this group, and it goes, as you mentioned, the culture. That's everything around this. That's the discipline. That's the strategy, and everything is put in there to play. And of course, with coaches Arndt and Hinton being together for so long, that has brought on a number of successful programs. Jason Benson, to my left here, you were one of those big hitters along with Will on the defense, and you played a lot of in the early part of the season on the offensive side of the ball. But suddenly the H-back kind of started falling away for you.
Yeah.
Cortland Duncan started coming up into that position, and that gave you a chance to be more of the strong safety and almost like just an outside of, and can I say this, a backside linebacker, so to speak?
Yeah, that's what Coach Arndt always calls me, just a deep linebacker. But the first couple of weeks I was playing offense, and I was, like, not going to lie, I was exhausted the first couple of games, and they made the move. Cortland went to H-back, and they never really liked a player going both ways. So it helped me a lot on defense because I got breaks and I could just focus solely on defense. And Cortland stepped up and did really well.
I remember seeing you at the Taze Valley contest late in that game. You were dogging it as best you possibly could because, but still, despite being tired, despite having to go both ways, you came up with the game-saving interception.
Yep. Yeah, I was getting cramps, and I was drinking water all week, and I was still getting cramps, and I guess I wasn't just in shape enough because like the practice and 2 days don't really compare to like an actual game, and that gets you in shape. But yeah, I was exhausted that game.
Frontier Athletic Conference Championship.
Oh yeah.
I've not had a chance really to talk to you much since that game, a win over Jackson. What was that night like?
It was amazing. We set that goal ever since we were sophomores, and we came up short for 2 years, and then finally coming up our senior year when it matters most it was amazing.
Simon Roderick, you've been in on a lot of those plays, both offensively and defensively. You didn't get the luxury of taking time off like this guy did.
No, not at all.
In fact, you're wearing number 5 tonight, but he wore 65 a good bit of the season this year. And in fact, at Winton Woods during our broadcast, the spotter came over in the press box and said, "Who's number 65?" I said, well, we asked that same question back when he was at East Clinton for the first time when you went to offensive tackle a couple of years ago. Talk about what that's been like for you to play both ways on the offense and defense, because you have to play with a level of discipline on the defensive side, but I got to think you're far more, hey, let's just go off the play. But as an offensive lineman, you have to be, very disciplined there.
Yeah, I guess it's two different mindsets on each side of the ball, but not coming out the whole game is pretty exhausting, but, you eventually get used to it because I did it my junior year as well, and it was a good challenge, but I was up for it.
Heard your name called several times for making quarterback sacks and tackles throughout the season. But the one time you don't want to hear it is when you're on offense, especially offensive line, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Can't tell you, we've kidded him throughout his career, I think, every time. I asked him not long ago, why isn't a yellow hanky part of his uniform? Because it just seems like it all goes together, right?
Yeah, well, one thing my coaches tell me is my arms, since they're so long, you can see the holding call a lot easier compared to the other guys that have shorter arms, so that kind of screws me in that part.
I think that's the big difference between you and a lot of the big kids who play. And when I say big kid, he's tall,
3.
6'3", but he's not your 6'3", 325 pound, monster basically on the line there. You've gone against those guys.
Yeah.
And you've had to really be mean to play the position, haven't you?
Yeah, Coach Hinton's really taught me good techniques and stuff, and it really doesn't matter how big you are. If you have enough heart and fire out hard enough, you can take on anybody.
I think, guys, and this is a question basically for all of you, whoever wants to answer it. When the Frontier Athletic Conference came together into its alignment, when they set up Week 10, you think they knew what they were doing, putting Chillicothe against Jackson and McLean against Hillsboro and setting up those rivalries? That's got to get your juices flowing, I would think, come Week 10.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Now, of course, this is extra special for you guys because you went into Week 10 undefeated. Jackson was undefeated. Talk about the pressure of what you had to handle there.
It was just, I guess it was kind of pressuring because, like Jason said, we've been trying to get a league title ever since our sophomore year. So, we knew we were the better team, We kind of came out slow, but we've been down 14-0 3 times that year, so we came back each time and won. So that was really good for our team because our character was just really high. Like when we got down, we didn't panic. Like we just knew once we get a drive going, everything's just gonna be all right.
Talk about, and you had a 41-yard touchdown run down the sideline. And I love that slow down and then kick that extra gear in, and the afterburners kick in, and you leave the defender in the dust. What was the emotion for you after that touchdown? Because they outscored Jackson 31-3. You found yourself really starting to create separation at that point.
Yeah, it was just a great feeling, just knowing like we're really about to get a big. Yeah. Just knowing
Coach Hinton always calls them superstars. That's a
movie star.
Or movie star, yeah.
It was just great knowing that lead. Like it would have been tough for them to come back really. So we kind of had it sealed after that. Like iced the game, just to know that you won the first FSC title and the Chillicothe's first league titles in 27 years.
And I'm going to ask Simon this: what was it like to be on the field during the pass that puts you ahead? It was the touchdown pass to J.J. Harris in the back corner. You guys knew that was going to come out after the huddle.
Yeah.
And you're coming up, and we look back, there were no flags. We were happy about that. But talk about what it's like to see a plan come together.
Well, I remember I was talking to Bradley, and I was like, if Brandon doesn't get sacked on this play, we're probably going to score here. And Bradley plays right guard right beside me. And sure enough, I was walking, and I turned left a little bit, and I see that ball fly in the air and lands right in JJ, and he cradles it right in the end zone. I was just like, oh my gosh, that was crazy, and we were all going nuts, and I was giving Jason a high five, and it was a great time.
And then Jackson tried to come back, and that's where Will comes into play, because you had a big tackle behind the line of scrimmage within the 5-yard line, and that really helped put kind of a coffin nail in there, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I really think, that was icing on the cake, and I thought it was going to be a fumble, but I still think it just kind of shut Jackson down. Either way.
Now, we're finished talking about the FAC, but talk to Jason here about the playoff game. You found yourselves down 7-0. Next thing you know, Chillicothe's up 14-7, and nobody, I think, really thought that you guys would have the capability of having the lead. But here come Nick Ursuline, Johnny on the spot. He recovers that fumble at the 30-yard line. Next thing you know, it's positive yards and 7 points.
Yeah, well, the whole week, we knew the caliber that Winton Woods had, and we texted each other, and we were like, all right, we know they're better than us, but if we come out and play as hard as we can and give confidence to the other guys, then we can really shock some people and maybe even win this game. So when we went up 14-7, I think we shocked a lot of people doing that.
I think a lot of folks will remember the name Maya Williams. That guy,
Yeah.
I tell you, he's going to be playing on Saturday somewhere, and who knows if he grows another 5 inches, maybe on Sundays too.
Yeah.
But quite the talent, is just a young sophomore. Well, I know the season is done for you. Your football careers are done, but these guys will be together on the hardwood soon. They changed from Coach Hinton and Arntz right over to Coach Huffer, and I'm sure you guys are excited about basketball, which is going to start on December 5th this year. Anything interesting to say about Zane Trace? You'll be facing the former head coach, Gary Kello.
Just ready to bring it to him, I guess.
Yep.
Just
We'll be all right.
shut all the SVC mouths up.
That all happens at CHS December 5th, so come on out to Hatton Memorial Gymnasium. Guys, it's been a pleasure watching you grow up, being these little snot-nosed kids. Now they're big snot-nosed kids. Yep. But again, thank you for being on the show, and thanks for what you've done for Cavalier football.
Yep.
Thank you.
Brandon Moffmer, Will Roderick, Jason Benson, and Simon Roderick. We'll continue in just a moment with the Cavalier Coaches Corner.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
For 20 years, Haven House of Pickaway County has supported local victims of domestic violence. Thank you to those of you who have made contributions during the Haven House Capital Campaign, which helps us to offer more extensive services to survivors of domestic violence, empowering them to become more successful individuals. To help support our effort, visit us on Facebook, havenhouse1180.com, or by calling 740-412-1905. Shelter, support, and long-term solutions. Haven House of Pickaway County. Rebuilding lives. Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing in Central Center can customize t-shirts, banners, posters, vinyl lettering for your car or truck, and they can embroider logos for your school or business. It's time to show your team's spirit. And from Adina to Zane Trace, Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing has all the team colors. And of course, your Chillicothe Cavalier blue and white. So stop on into the shop in Central Center and see for yourself. Or visit Chillicothe Signs and Screen Printing online and place your order today.
Young's Family Market is family-owned and operated. M.L. Young founded the grocery store in 1936, and now a second generation of Youngs, Brad, Susan, and their children, now operate the business. To also serve the surrounding area, the Youngs opened a second location in Kingston, Ohio back in 2014, making shopping easy by offering everything you need, including beer and wine, all under one roof. No more running all over town making numerous stops to get everything on your list. Instead, visit our store and find it all. We offer fresh, high-quality products for affordable prices. It's the Young's Family Market, serving the Laurelville, Ohio community for more than 60 years.
In our final segment to the final show of the final season for Chillicothe football for 2017, let's take a look back on the season, Coach. As we take a look back, we have a lot of ups, we have a few downs, but really, this has probably, I think, been one of your best jobs as a staff since you've been here.
Well, I think we're even keel, throughout the year. And I didn't realize that my staff talked a lot about 3 games this year. We were 14 points down and come from behind.
Yeah.
I forgot week 1. We were there. I knew week 9 and week 10 we did, but I forgot about week 1. The stretch we had, the great game we had against Licking Heights. Guys come out and just played phenomenal. The solid game we played against Marion Franklin. That's one of those games that we should have won. Okay, we came back against Hartley, and they just taught us some things and just woke us up. And then then we got to Logan, and Logan's a tough out. They always play us tough. They come in with some new things and play us tough. Then we got into our league schedule and tough way to start out with Hillsborough. Hillsborough finished 7-3. Had a great year. And we played very well against them and made the stretch run through there and went to a courthouse team that was one of the top picks in the league and fell behind and come out and played hard, played well. And, took care of business. And took on a very good Jackson team and took care of business down there. And by golly, we won her. So there's so many things in and out you talk about. I know we talked about earlier about the Winton Woods, and one person we didn't talk about. I think had an exceptional game was Jaquan Harris. His kickoff returns.
200 yards.
No, too bad. He had too many chances to return.
But he still averaged around 25 yards.
Yes,
per
return.
Yes.
But also our guys did a nice job, actually blocking.
Yeah.
We did a nice job there. It's been that kickoff return has been one of our weapons. Throughout the year. And he had that huge punt that was almost 60 yards.
65 yards.
The swung field position right there. Of course, we weren't able to hold him there very long, but it did swing.
That was when we got the 3 and out.
Was it?
Yeah, that was when we got the 3 and out, and then we score after that.
Yeah, we did score after the fumble.
We scored after the 3
After
and
the
out.
3 and out. Yeah, the short
and that
punt,
was that
yes.
long punt that got him that, and we didn't keep him down deep enough.
Very long enough.
Long enough.
But I'll probably we didn't turn the ball over. We threw the one pick, but that was from where was that was almost as good as a punt.
Yeah.
Really, that was really better than punt. So that happens, and but you just look at our guys. on some injuries we had, the moves we had. We made some kids come in that we never even thought about going to play this year. Connor Mathis moving to making a change from not playing defense to being a dominant player for us on the defensive line. Okay, Chris Posey's coming in. The last 5 games and playing very, very well. For us, DeAndre Halbell, middle guard. You look at that, Brycey Valentine at guard, Bradley Reinhardt at guard. Didn't start in the beginning of the year and finished up there as one of our better linemen. You just look at all these different guys. Adrian Beverly, Peyton Shoemaker led us, and I think Coach Crabtree said that in the Columbus Dispatch, Peyton would have been number 6.
6. Yeah,
in
interceptions.
Interceptions in the Central District area with his 6.
And he tied the Shoemaker family record of 6 in a season.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know such things.
Didn't know that.
Okay, well, that's good. All right.
Go back and visit last week's show when we had Todd Shoemaker on. We talked about that.
Well, so I'm sure Todd reminded him about that. And I'm sure Peyton, competitor he is, he's going to be after Dad's record now.
That's right. We were hoping they'd throw it to him one more time last week.
Well, we talk about that stiff arm, and he got popped pretty good. Yes, but I'll tell you what, though, give him credit. All 135 pounds was going after that 245-pound back. He took all 135 pounds right at him, didn't he?
He did. He certainly did. He threw it out there, and it didn't stick, but he threw it out there anyway. Coach, you've been coaching a year or two, and I got to ask you, had you ever thought in your point in time of coaching that you would have 6 home games, but have 6 home games consecutively? That's got to be something very unusual.
No, I never dreamed of that happening. That one happens basically at, I know Massillon always schedules 6, 7 home games, those schools like that.
Yeah, usually you're an independent.
Yes, and you pay people to come in and or your colleges do those things, but not 6 straight like that. So that was really, really very, very unique in that. Of course, when we first came, we were playing 4 or 5 in a row on the road when we came here. So that took us a while to get that out. So I guess if you're around long enough, it all kind of evens out. With what we're doing there.
And I guess my point is you played so well at home, and that continued for the final 4 games. Playing on the road, played pretty well, despite falling behind at Washington Courthouse and at Jackson.
Well, we always talked about that we kind of thought we played better sometimes on the road than we did at home. Basically, last year in 2016, we thought we was really a better football team traveling than we were at home. Why, I don't know, but it's kind of funny because usually home field advantage just takes a toll on you. But with our team, when you got a team like we had this year, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They're going to go out. The nice thing was, the only thing is, and Coach Arnold laughed, and these guys drove me crazy. I mean, they drove me crazy because I just could not get a good read on them because we're used to. Our players, we could see it in their actions, in their eyes. We could read them. These guys would just giggle and smile and laugh and, just drive me up a wall. Coach Arnold would say, "They're fine. Just relax. They're fine." Because of how we prepare our teams in the past. And again, each group is different. Each team is different. And it took me a while. It still took me. It was just okay. But tell up, coach. They're okay. But nice thing was when they got through the white lines, they were business. They were all business. Really, there's not one time this year you can say technically you really had a letdown. Okay, they were all business, and they come out and played hard and played fast so. So that was one problem thing I struggled with this year as a head coach, and Coach we talked about it a lot. He knew exactly what I was saying, where I was coming from. Now, my staff didn't really understand, but he understood, because we've been together so long, of what the mentality thing was, and I'd be chewing on them on Thursdays, and Coach saying, "Back down, you're okay, they're okay," but then God bless them. And on Friday when they come out, they were all business and they were ready to play.
Bill Davidson and Bill Dennis, rather, used to talk about one player that would drive him nuts all the time, but when the lights came on, and that's Brad Bates. And Brad knows about this as well, so that's turning the clock back a bit, but it's that kind of player, that kind of mentality. And Coach, even you tonight, when the guys were here, some of them were leaving, you told them, I can't say goodbye to you.
True. I can't say goodbye. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye to this group of kids. All 10 of them, the whole senior group of seniors. How hard they've worked, how much they enjoy. The other day we were talking, and we can get on pretty good. And they're saying, Coach, we're going to miss it. And we said, why? He says, because it's fun. Football's been fun. And I'm thinking, I've been chewing on you pretty good, and you think it's fun, okay, And it has been fun for them. We've tried to make it, and like we say, we'll get after them, but then we'll also let them know why we're getting after them, and they're mature enough to understand that. So it's a group that I also told them to go home and tell Mom and Dad to clone you, because I want 10 more of them. I want 20 more of them.
Yeah. And you can take a look at this wall behind us. It's a testament to those who have played before and have gone on to play collegiately. And not every one of those kids will get a chance to do that. And some of their careers ended last Friday night. But Coach, you know as well as I do, you always said that door's open to them.
Well, you go back into Friday night, even though we lost the way we lost, and we lost kind of big, I was, Brandon didn't want to leave the field. We're hanging around, he's hanging around. I just watched him. He's just walking around the field. We got back at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Turn quick, because during the playoff time, the guys have to. It's a tradition that you don't take your practice home and get it washed until after Friday night's game. Okay, because the sudden death. And you win, you're in. You lose, you're out. So all our stuff always has to stay, and they were cleaning out their lockers and etc. But yet then for about 10, 15 minutes, the seniors, most of them sat in the locker room and just talked. Just visited, talked about different things, situations, and it was really refreshing and just really capped off what a special year this has been, what a special group this is. But just by the way of how they handle them, and we'll always, Jeff and I will always talk about this. We'll take quality and leadership anytime over athletic ability. We think we have won more games with more quality, more leadership, all right, than we have with talent. Okay, because we think those are ingredients that those are inherent, and those are the things the quiet things or the unseen things that you can build upon, you can win through. And we told these guys all along their whole career that if you can walk out of here and say, hey, I look at myself in the mirror, I did the best I could do. I really think this senior class can say, there's much more we could do. I mean, those kids left everything they had Friday night on the field. All right, again, we impress people because of our guts, of our stamina. I basically throughout the whole year on just how well we conducted ourselves. I'll give it back to go back to the family life. The parents. Number one, I'll go back to my coaching staff. Number two, how well prepared our kids are. All right, the number three, then just their demeanor. With that and stuff. So it was a fantastic year. It was a different year because usually Coach Arndt's got all the records. He has all the stuff with all of his defensive stuff. And this is the year that the offense ruled. Okay.
Finally, huh?
Finally, yes, that's what I got to say. Finally,
I don't say finally, no.
And you can say offense wins championships now.
No.
We know it's the other way around.
Yes, defense. Offense sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but still, even though our defense give up some points, we give up some yards, like the old Browns teams we talked about that. Back in the days when actually the Browns were winning. Yeah. Coach I was hoping one of these days that we can live long enough to see the Browns do win again.
Amen to that.
But bend but don't break. Our defense bent a lot, and we give up some critical some things. But we didn't give up the critical big plays. In situations. And once it come down where we had to make plays, we did. We did. Again, we lost. When we did lose, it wasn't because of mistakes we made. It wasn't because of things that we did. It's just basically, physically, those teams were better than us. Okay, the 3 losses we had, they were just physically better. All right,
and physically better than a lot of teams in Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, we could look. We can't have a crystal ball here right now, but 2 of our losses could be to state champions.
Yeah.
With Hartley in Division III and Whitten Woods in Division II. Now we don't know. I mean, they have to play people too, but they're making a run with Whitten Woods and Hartley and Marion Franklin. They're all in the playoffs. Marion Franklin gets beat, but the other 2 are still marching on. So, again, our losses were not to slouches or to upsets or people that we should have beat and didn't. So, again, it was.
You didn't get in by the skin of your teeth.
No,
you earned your way there, no question.
We played very tough people, even in our league. I mean, I'm going to tell you, the Jacksons are always going to be tough.
Yeah.
Okay, Washington Courthouse is making a move. Hillsborough is making a move. So those are going to be tough games in the future.
I know we want to take a moment. I know you've mentioned their names, but we had Frontier Athletic Conference honors come out this past Sunday, and 5 of them were seniors. One, Jaquan Harris, was the only underclassman that we had, but also all FAC included Simon and Will Roderick, Jason Benson, Connor Mathis, and the Player of the Year, Coach Brandon Moffmer. And you gave me some insight, and I think you're okay with this. And Brandon, as you quoted, is probably the best quarterback you've ever had play.
I agree. I mean, athletically, physically, yes, he is. But he has the right demeanor. Because Coach gets a little excited and he gets chewed a little bit. But it's one of those things that it's kind of like, okay, it's like water on a duck's back. What's it do? It just runs off. Okay, Coach gets a little excited. Coach gets chewed a little bit. Okay. You done, Coach? Yep, good. Okay, I'm ready to go play. Let's go. All right, but he had the perfect mentality to do what he did. All right, and he will be talked about in Chillicothe folklore for a long time. All right, the runs he had. You mentioned really about his stop and start. His jiggles and he goes. All right, and the different things that he did. He always played with a smile on his face. Okay, and he never made any excuses. Yep, and go on and go out and play. But I still think, and Coach Arndt says the same thing, that he would have been as exceptional as a defensive player on both sides of the ball. Except he wouldn't allow himself to do that. So that's another story someday. All right, but he would have been as exceptional on the other side of the ball as well. Okay, but then you take Simon Roderick, the guy, again, how many wide receivers can go in and battle against a team like Whitten Woods? Okay, play against people like that.
As an offensive lineman.
As an offensive lineman.
And a defensive
lineman. Yes, and there's no question Simon was our best offensive lineman. Okay, he would have been a great skill guy, too. I mean, he proved that in the 3 or 4 minutes we threw the ball to him against Greenfield. Okay? All right, but he played the role he played. Jason, the role he played. Connor playing us taking his role at that 5 technique, which is a tough position. We moved Will from safety, which is his comfort zone, to the toughest defense position on Coach Arndt's team. The Eric Guerreros who come out every day and practice. The Ben Spillers, the guys come out and practice every day. They get to play hardly at all, but they can still come out every day as part of the team. All the great things they've done. AJ Corbin, that 2 years, how much he has improved and he has played. Just all those things that each one of those guys have contributed, to our success. to this. And
we're forgetting Zach
Bryant.
How he played hurt.
Yes, the last 3-4 weeks. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it was one of those questions of, any moment, any right hit, and that shoulder's gone. And he had a brace on it, and he still stuck it out, fought hard, and he sacrificed. He was our starter at nose last year.
Right.
And we felt here's again where he was too valuable to us offensively that he needed to go that way.
And then due to the shoulder injury, you flipped him to the other side so that he wouldn't have to take the pressure on that.
Yes. And Nick Colley, our center, started 3 years. Really played tackle 1 year, then center next to him. Played some tackling even this year. With the injuries we have, we move people around to fill our injury stuff. So these guys, they'll go down, as a great class. Their pictures will be on here. The neat thing was, though, they played 3 straight years in the playoffs. Okay, all right, they won a league title. They hung 2 banners, a blue and a white this year. Mm-hmm. Okay, the blue sickness is a one for playoffs. All right, and the white is one for a championship. All right, so we'll finally gonna add that. We're gonna add numbers to our banner in the gymnasium. So I mean, those are all so special things. I gotta say thank you to our trainer Lisa. All right, to Mr. Behrens, our athletic director, did a great job for us. Mr. Weaver, our principal, Mr. Saxon, the school board, puts up with Coach Arndt and I, and lets us rant and rave and carry on during games and things. And our fans, the band did a great job. Our 12th man, throughout the year. All those things that people, not just the football team, but all those parts make this program into what it is. Our student trainers, that help us every day. All the things that people don't realize, all the parts that goes in behind the scenes. All the different things that we do that's handled throughout the year. Gina Benson, our senior mom, the big role she plays. Mr. Corbin took care of our team meals and a lot of our travel stuff. That he was very functional. With that, our senior parents, all gonna say thank you, and then also to our TV show sponsors. Mm-hmm. That allows us, to do this and have this great show and put this out here, and we're just tickled to death that we're able to do this, and again, I guess we should got our banner out and hung it up, or show me our big banner. We got it done already. It's ready to go. We're presenting at the banquet. Our banquet's November 29th, 6 p.m. The cafeteria. Be a carry-in dinner, but the Booze Club will finish the meat and the drinks. I think even they also the potatoes with that. So that'll be another big night for us. Now, one thing different this year, correct, Coach Arndt, that we're not having the all sports awards.
Right,
essentially.
right.
It's just going to be just a football banquet. Mm-hmm. So we'll be just having that with that there, and we want to congratulate all the other schools, all the other sports. We were 6 out of 8, right?
I think that's correct. Yeah. Once again, we'll go through this co-championship in tennis, girls cross country. You had girls volleyball. You had both boys and girls soccer and football champions in the Frontier Athletic Conference, and that'll be on November 16th, I believe, over at Grace Church there in Washington Courthouse, where they used to have the SCOL banquets as well, and very much looking forward to that and a chance to hoist a banner and raise a trophy.
Bring a trophy home.
That's right.
Yes, sir. We get home. Find a resting place for it right here.
That's right.
Yes. So that will be very, very, very exciting. And the Cavalier Tom, and I got to say something to my family, my daughter Robin. A lot of things she does. She feeds the coaches 2 to 3 days a week. Matter of fact, the coach was talking tonight about make sure Robin's still around. That what we do to keep her to do those things, and and Murph. I mean, golly, there is only one Dennis Murphy. Okay, and when he retires, I pity the person who tries to come in behind him, because they're huge. The role they have to, the different things they have to do. Excuse me, that he does. That's amazing. The nice thing is most coaches have to work a week hard. Staffs have to work a week hard on putting their stuff away at the end of the year. Okay? And what are we doing? We're sitting in our office, eating M&Ms and meetings and talking, and Murph does it. But then Murph won't let us. I've called him 3 times and say, Murph, what can I do to help? I got it covered. I know this. I got it covered.
His answer is stay out of the way.
Stay out of the way, yes. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. Also, Sid, the guy behind the camera there.
Sid, come in. People need to see who Sid is.
Hey, by the way, Sid, they loved your hook last week. They wanted you to bring it back. They loved that hook last week, Sid. We'll have to bring it back and leave it here. They loved that hook there.
We want seriously, come in front of the camera. We want people to see who Sid is, because this is the guy who puts up with us on a regular basis, week after week, and he's another Taze Valley graduate right there that makes this all happen. So
get down here where you can see it.
He's got to wink his way.
Hope the camera doesn't stop or break now, right? He can't tell us shut up. Stop right now, can he?
Yeah. Now he can put his hand over your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you to the folks watching as well. And Sid, I got to ask you, folks can go back and see other shows as well?
Yep.
Just go to CircleVilleTV.com.
You can see all of them.
You see all those that we've done. They're award-winning shows, believe me. And there might even be some outtakes down the road, too.
Yes.
So, again, for Jeff Arndt, for Cavalier Tom, and, of course, Coach Ron Hinton, and Sid Liming over here, I'm Dan Ramey. And for a final time this season, there's one thing left to say, and that's
Go Cavs!